Set 2 will be played on Whirlwind. Spawning in the top left-hand position as the blue Protoss from Evil Genius's Team Liquid. His name is Hero.
His opponent, playing for Kespa teammate as Orange Zerg. His name is Czech.
Not Czech Prime, guys.
Not
that
Czech
guy.
Prime.
That guy retired a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Same name, different player. But they were both Zergs.
Of course, this is Shindorim, not Yongsan Esports Stadium, so Hero, he's gonna play a lot better today.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. That's generally how things work. You're going for the in-base pylon, so based on the positioning here, it probably will be a gateway expand. Could still be the forge expand, though. That's very possible.
So you have to wait and see what Hero wants to go for. You could do any type of build on this map, and quite frankly, some Protoss players have been trying to do this to counter some 15 hatch from their Zerg opponents.
Or just to get more aggressive early on in the game.
And that's the reason why Zerg players cannot take a third base relatively fast these days, because they have to double check what their opponent is going for before going down the third hatchery. So there's a gateway down, and I like this positioning of the pylon in the gateway. Yes, it's hidden deep inside the main base, but the main reason while doing so is if his opponent goes for some type of really fast Zergling play, the pylon and the gateway is going to serve as a nice wall against the Zerglings.
And you just help walling off that back area. And the Zerg players, if they want to counter this style, we have seen 3 hatch before pool be a decent way to deal with this. It's just such a risky play to go for that most Zerg players don't opt to do that. It's just a build order gamble. Think about it like going for DTs in a PvP or trying to not get detection too early without scouting in PvP.
Yeah. In fact, the most popular counter to gateway opening is going for the natural expansion and then getting on gas immediately afterwards. But our Zerg player from Kespa teammate, he doesn't know where his opponent is right now. He's just trying to scout where he is, but the Overlords are not going to get a perfect scouting, as he's going to wait until the Overlord actually arrives in the left top corner to get his scouting. I'm a little bit disappointed that he did not send out a drone just to double check what his opponent is going for, because if he saw the lack of expansion, he could have gone for the gas, get some speed links out, and try to harass his opponent early in the game.
Alright, Hero's going to go ahead and put down that expansion. The Zerglings are out, but it's still going to be a while before they get to Hero's base, and by then the Mothership Core will be almost done or complete. We do have the third base as well starting for Czech. Pretty standard timings from him. And, you know, of course, the Gateway Expand does allow you to be more aggressive earlier on against Zerg players, and I certainly hope Hero uses that to the best of his ability.
Yeah. A lot of people have been saying, even talking with some Korean commentators over here, we're not going to see that many Gateway Expand on this particular map because it's harder to wall off at the natural. You need to commit at least up to 3 buildings and a pylon to get a wall at the natural. However, a lot of Protoss players have been getting a lot better at defending against Zerglings early in the game with this style of play, so they go for it anyways because they know how to defend against it.
So Hero's going for 2 Stalkers here, and we do have 8lings on the way for Czech, but okay, there's the Mothership Core as well. I was kind of waiting for that to happen, but I actually like this from Hero. He's going to use these Stalkers and try to be aggressive early on and just, you know, pick off units being as cost efficient as possible, I think.
Yeah. And also Stalkers, you can micro them a little better than the Zealots over there, because yes, Zealot deals a lot more damage against the Zerglings, but once those go inside the main base, you need some Stalkers and trying to micro against the Zerglings a little bit, and now he's going to slowly push out. There's up to 8 Zerglings, so if his opponent Czech gets a nice surround on the Stalkers, then yes, Hero has to pull back, but until then, Hero, this is non-speedling Zerglings. All he has to do is micro back little by little and pick up Zerglings one by one.
And it looks like Czech is going to go ahead and retreat with most of these lings here. This probe not going to be able to put down a proxy pylon despite there being 2 gateways that are almost complete here along with the warp gate. Stargate is a follow-up here. The probe, it does survive.
Barely. And because the Stalkers are over here, like you said, he's going for a little pressure, and because of the nice micro, the probe hasn't stayed. He could even throw down a proxy pylon right now.
Yeah, that's what looks like what he's going to do. And you know what? Just look at how many lings have been forced early on from Czech here, just due to 2 Stalkers and just the threat of being hit with the timing attack here. Nice micro, though, from Czech, but can Hero manage to get his Stalker unstuck? And no! Almost. He's almost able to, but still, he's killed off a lot of these Zerglings here, and it's just going to force 18 lings out.
This is so bad for Czech. If he actually got the gas first after scouting his opponent with drone, this wouldn't have happened. In fact, he would have delayed his third base while getting more Zerglings out, defend against the attack relatively easily, and then get a third base up while droning heavily behind this.
And the Zealots and Stalkers going to go to town on these Zerglings, but Check, I think he has just enough Zergling reinforcements to eventually scare away the forces of Hero, but the damage has been done to Check's economy, man. And actually, those two Zealots survive for a little bit while longer here. The Phoenix is revealed, and the Zealots know they're not going to be able to pick off those additional drones, but economy-wise, Hero is miles ahead of his opponent.
Miles ahead because he couldn't drone up behind this. The Zerglings were trying to attack the Zealots, and it didn't take them out efficiently.
Yeah.
That is the key point right now, as Check, he is so far behind in economy compared to his opponent. Yes, he does have up to 3 bases, but he's not droning up right now. In fact, he's going to use some of these Zerglings to try to go for a counterattack, trying to see if he can find the room at the natural, but it's not going to happen.
Zergling's going to pop in here, and they do spot the probe there with the pylon, so that's going to prevent this third base from being constructed pretty fast. But the Phoenix over here doing a little bit of economic damage to the Queens over here, going to pick off 1 or 2 of them. And the Overlords may fall as well to this. Check forced to spend more drones on some Spore Crawlers there. A few of these Overlords going to fall as well. Hero going to supply block his opponent here, and just, you know, 1 step ahead of the game pretty much throughout the entire game.
Yeah, and Check, he saw the first Phoenix come out, so he should have had the Spore Crawler down just in time to defend against the Phoenixes, but no, he was actually shaken by the early pressure from his opponent. That's the reason why he didn't get the Spore Crawlers up in time at third base.
Oh, and unfortunately for Check going to lose a few extra Overlords here.
There's one more over there that he did not see.
Oh, he saw it now, and what's that? 1, 2, 3. I think he's killed the 5 Overlords now.
5 Overlords and a Queen.
And a Queen, and he's forced so many Zerglings early on in the game that would have been much better as drones. Hero is just doing a fantastic job at harassing this game.
Now all Hero needs to do right now is get some AoE units out and just play a little bit safe back at home, because he's doing a nice job killing his opponent's economy left and right. Because some players, they try to get a little bit cocky and try to go for one timing push that doesn't work out, and eventually the Zerg player gets enough economy up to go for a counter attack and win the game.
Hero only slightly behind his opponent in supply, 84 to 90. Generally, the Zerg players are going to be much farther ahead at this point. Up to 7 workers have been killed, in addition to a lot of Overlords and the single Queen as well. Hero going to go ahead and take a third base from the looks of things here. This Overseer, though, he's got a good idea of what's happening here.
Yeah, and the Zerglings that has been producing early in the game, that should actually kill the probe over there right now before the Nexus goes down. All he can do right now is try to delay the third base as long as possible. This is a nice play from Check.
Oh, Hero adding on 2 additional gateways, getting the Robotics Bay. And he still should go for the third base, I feel. He may try to trick out his opponent, but the resources are pretty high on his end, and it would make no sense for him to not take a third here.
In fact, if he did not want to take a third, he would make up to 5 gateways right now instead of just 2 additional gateways.
Indeed. All right, well, we do have Hydras in production going for the +1. Check is going to have a Hydra army here, but it's not going to be as high. Oh, may end up picking off. Yes, 1 Phoenix does end up falling. And the Mothership Core getting picked off as well. Hero, it's actually a pretty serious mistake from him there. He is instantly remaking that Mothership Core, but that's not characteristic of his play there. A little bit sloppy. And
I have to say the Colossus timing is slightly late. He had the Robo Bay up for quite a long time, but now the first Colossus is being made, so Hero, even if he has the economic lead, when it comes to army, Check can still try to deal nice harassment and deny the third base, so it's really crucial for Hero to throw down amazing force fields against the Hydras right now.
Yeah, the Hydras, they are going to be the biggest threat and priority here. Check, looking like he wants to commit to an attack here. He has lots of Zerglings here. The problem for Hero, it's the lack of the AoE here.
There is 1 Colossus out, but Hero still needs to depend on the sentries and the force fields. And look at this Check gonna try to go for an attack right now. Is there a gap in the natural? No, there's no gap as the Zealot fills the hole.
All right, force fields go down. They're actually extremely solid here.
Oh my god, perfect force fields against the Zerglings. Trapping a few Hydras in the front. The Zerglings run around towards the right side, but the Zealots are already over there covering the Colossus.
All right, the Zerg unit's moving back now. Hero has easily defended here. It'd be folly for Check to try to commit to this attack, but he's going to go for it anyway. The surround is pretty solid here, but there's just way too many units here for Hero. The Phoenix now moving in as well. Check forced the retreat. Those are slow Hydras, and
Key point is he saved the Colossus. Usually at this point, Protoss player, yes, they are going to win the engagement, but they start losing the AoE units one by one, and that's the reason why Zerg players can come back and win the game. Hero did a nice job saving the Colossus in that battle, and also doing a nice job denying the 4th base at the 6 o'clock base.
Denying the 4th base is going to be a huge win here for Hero, and the Zealots, they're going to be able to kill it, forcing the cancel. Hero now moving towards that 3rd base. Here we have 17 Mutalisks on the way, though, from our Zerg player.
But Hero was making up to 3 additional Phoenixes, so he knows what his opponent is going for at this point. All he has to do is throw up the fleet big and get the range, and we have 3 additional Phoenixes coming out once again.
Yeah.
So he's going to have up to 9 Phoenixes against tons of Mutas, and all Hero needs to do is micro against the Mutas.
I think he's gonna go for the recall!
Well,
no
the
recall.
Core gets sniped right away, but he's been doing a nice damage right now, killing a lot of drones over here at the 3rd base.
The Phoenixes are going to do a good job of picking up the most of these mutas. The ground army will end up falling, but the muta count already down to 4. Is it going to fall down below that? The Queen getting lifted up here as well. Hero being pretty funny with those Phoenixes over there, just dancing them around, and all of the mutas have been picked off. The Zerg player, he's got no army left.
And that was 1,500 gas that was put into the mutas, just taking out going for 1 Colossus only from Hero. Yes, he did take out the Colossus, but the Phoenixes finished the mutas.
I mean, at this point, the Zerg player, he doesn't have much of an army left. His economy, not in the best position here. He's only got 53 drones. He has taken a 4th base, but the reinforcements from Hero, the supply advantage on his end, I just don't think that there's anything that Czech can really do to get back into this game here.
Yeah, Hero has complete advantage over his opponent. He is getting some Corruptors and Mutas. This was the composition that we saw against the Phoenixes to try to counter the Phoenix play when the Zerg player wants to use the Muta, but right now Hero has up to 3 base secured. Yes, Czech did secure the 4th base and another base at the 3 o'clock position, but it doesn't matter as all of the drones have been killed over at the 3rd base.
Even the Phoenix range upgrade is now under construction, and it looks like Hero's going to go ahead and take a 4th base in an excellent position. Will end up scouting this secret base over here as well. The drone's going to fall quite fast, and pretty much Hero perfectly countering his opponent's play.
And I also like this play. Hero getting a 4th base means that he's trying to play as safe as possible. He knows that he is far ahead in the game, but all he's doing right now is trying to cripple his opponent's economy. Same concept as Senio earlier today.
And there we go, the Zealots moving into that 4th base, gonna easily pick that off as well. Czech trying to recreate another 4th base to the left of his 3rd, but I mean, the problem is he doesn't have anything on the ground. He's forced to constantly defend. Hero is simply all over the place and is free to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, usually if a Zerg player loses engagement, it's okay at times because they still have tons of economy left behind, but because Hero has been on a constant harassment at the 6 o'clock and the 3 o'clock base, Czech, he doesn't have any drones. Look at the supply right now, 141 from our Protoss player to only 95 from Czech.
I'm actually surprised that Czech is still trying to go for this corrupt or muta composition here. The economy for Hero, it's already on 3 base, going to 4 now. He's got excellent upgrades on those Phoenix, and the count is very solid. The Zealots here, are they going to end up picking off the hatchery? Doesn't matter. GG! Hero running in circles around Czech for the majority of that game.
Oh yeah, the early harassment was fantastic, forcing a lot of Zerglings and an overcommitment, I have to say, by Czech. All he had to do was wait for the Queens and only get some Zerglings out to defend against the Mothership Core and a couple of Zealots over there.
Oops. Hero, excellent control that game, doing a good job with the build order early on, and the boys in blue now up 2-0.